I don't owe you anymore. The buzzer exploded at 2:11 a.m. On my monitor, soaked in sleet, stood three ghosts I'd already buried: my mom, my sister, and her husband. I'd moved, nuked my number, vanished off the grid, yet here they were at my gate, shivering, pounding, pleading. "My name is Nova Reyes," I said into the two-way. "I'm 34, I build fortresses for a living, and for survival, I own Iron Pine Systems. We don't sell cameras, we build ecosystems. We break attacks before attackers try. I didn't move to Red Cliffs, California for the views. I relocated from Ash Hollow, Indiana, because the breach wasn't in my code, it was in my family. I didn't buy a house, I acquired a position. From the road it looks plain, low profile, desert grasses, clean lines tucked into the hillside. The bones are surgical, staggered studs, dense acoustic fill. It's TC 63. Walls. I can't hear the highway. More importantly, no one hears me. Silence is my moat. The perimeter is my art. Under a subcontractor's name, my firm mounted 4K thermal cams on the corners, tied to analytics that profile gate and heat, filtering coyotes from people. The gate? Powder-coated steel pretending to be cedar, opening only for plates whitelisted in an offline LPR node doorbell. Custom-build local server, zero cloud. Before the driveway got poured, I had the crew bury seismic pucks every 10 feet, calibrated to tell a drone from a sedan from a 180-pound human. Anything that tries me shows up on my board as weight, speed, and vector. Digital moat, real teeth. Erasing myself took longer than moving. I torched the 15-year phone number, salted the personal emails, deep-cleaned socials, and left one breadcrumb only a lawyer would love. A private mailbox tied to my LLC. If you weren't serving papers, you couldn't reach me. Work filled the quiet. Two big bids, a hospital retrofit, bleeding meds out the back door, and a bank that thought secure meant pretty dashboards. My lead cracked their stack in 36 hours. Clean problems. Clear rules. People? Not so much. The old dynamic was a loop. Mom, Doreen, sister, Kira, and her husband. Trent, a finance bro with the ethics of a raccoon, treated me like the family ATM. 24 months. $61,950. Bled out. Roof. AC. Emergency dental work that turned into veneers. A short-term investment. A cruise. Before Dad's knees go. I paid until paying became consent. Then came the forgery. A quiet friend at a regional bank tipped me. A $140,000 HELOC on my parents' house with a cosigner. Me. The signature matched an ancient medical POA I'd once signed just in case. I ran the logs. The application came from Trent's office, guest Wi-Fi. I sent the file to a forensic examiner. Transplanted digital signature. Timestamps all wrong. Game on. Credit freeze. A police report. GoFundMe scam shut down. Yeah, Kira had staged a miracle cure fundraiser using an old flu photo of Mom. I didn't argue. I logged. I built red cliffs like a client install, then switched on a feature I reserve for red flag targets. Perimeter ping. Mac sniffers that log unknown phones and fobs lingering by my fence. For 20 nights clean. On night 21, 3 unknowns at 2:07 a.m. Then the buzzer. Floods to 100%. 80,000 lumens turned the desert to noon. The mics rolled, the cams locked. Doreen, Kira, Trent. Blinked into my son. "This is private property," I said, voice rooted through the gate. "You're being recorded, state purpose." "We're freezing, Nova. Let us in," Mom whimpered. "You drove 2,000 miles with a purpose. Say it." "We just want to talk," Kira cried. "You came for money. I said. One at a time, names, what you did. Clean, no spin, or I call patrol. Trent cracked first. Trent Wallace? I used the POA file to secure the loan. You forged out my name. I corrected. Yes. Kira stared daggers. Kira Wallace. I set up the GoFundMe. We needed help. You faked a disease. Silence. Doreen tried tears. I need you. There it is, I said. Not love, need. I hit speed dial. Dispatch, this is Reyes at Red Cliffs. Trespassers at my gate. They scrambled. Tires spat gravel. Patrol rolled up. My cameras got everything. Faces, admissions, timestamps. I labeled the file. Incident B, encrypted it, and fired it to my attorney. Next morning, my lawyer appended the footage to the identity theft case and filed a civil suit. Full restitution, fees, punitive damages for defamation. Thanks for the shady hometown podcast, Kira. A temporary restraining order followed. Trent's firm, already sniffing the credit pull violation, canned him for cause, the mortgage reset. GoFundMe started clawbacks, their perfect little scheme face planted on math. One more twist, on my dashboard the night of the gate scene, 3 pings showed. 2 I clocked. Their rental and securities SUV. The third, a gray sedan idling down the hill. Weeks later, the same pattern tagged my street, stopping at other driveways not mine. That wasn't family. That was a Powie, with a day rate and no conscience. We traced him, dragged him into the order, barred for 500 yards, leash applied. By then, Dad, Miguel, had switched sides. He runs a taco shop, not spreadsheets, but he understands a ledger. I bought his mortgage note through a trust, split his finances from Mom's, and negotiated a long lease for a shiny new unit in a downtown redevelopment. He kept the brand and dignity. The fund got a legacy tenant. Win-win, stamped, countersigned. Kira tried one last stunt, a public reconciliation on the town hall steps. Lights, cheap podium, crocodile tears. I showed. My lawyer handed the news tech a drive. The crowd heard Trent confess and Kira brag about the fundraiser straight from my gate in hi-fi. I offered a final deal, sign a notarized confession, and a repayment schedule. Alls of it. Or I file a complaint that nukes Trent's licenses coast to coast they signed. The clerk walked it to the courthouse while the camera kept rolling. I don't hate you, I told Mom, voice low. I just stopped paying for you? That's not cruelty. That's closing a ticket. I flew home. Not on to the Red Cliffs house, the loud fortress designed to be found. I drove to my real place, 17th floor condo, separate LLC, anonymous, boring, safe. The decoy had done its job, lure, contain, document. On my console, I hovered over one toggle. Deactivate decoy 01. Click. Feeds dropped to black. Sensors flatlined. My father texted a photo from his grand opening, laughing behind the counter. Line out the door. The system I built for him held. The system that fed on me finally starved. If you're hearing this and thinking, dang, Nova, that's cold, understand. Boundaries feel like ice to people who've lived off your fire. Stay safe. Build your walls. And when they show up at 2:11 a.m. asking for the keys, remember, you don't owe the arsonists your water.